the next thing we have here is the interview. If successfully you are being called for interview, be it online interview or in the school interview, there are 4 P's that are being required of you to have at the back of your mind. The first one is being punctual. This punctuality is especially in schools in UK, US, and Canada. They will send you maybe a Zoom link or interview dates. You have to be there 30 minutes before the time. Why? You have to check whether your internet is working. You have to check your what again, some of your motivational letter. You have to make sure that everything is well prepared. Check all the writing materials you need, your pen and paper and books are with you. Then the next one is you have to prepare yourself. Like I said, review your motivational letter, because some questions will come from there, because they have read your motivation letter, they have read your statement of purpose, or even read your proposal. So they will maybe pick 1 or 2 questions from what you have written to know if actually you are the one who wrote those things. Also, prepare your introduction and question. Always have a question you need to ask them back. That question you're asking them is a way to tell them you understood everything for the conversation you have with them. And sometimes the interview, especially as regards school, doesn't last like 40 minutes. Highest, you can spend like 20 or 30 minutes, depending on how the communication went. Then think of a story of success you need to share with them. A story of success is one of these things we are saying you need to tell the story in your motivation letter or statement of purpose. You can still pick that particular story and share, or you share a different story that relates with what you have done, a success story that you were able to do this and that, and this is the outcome of what you have achieved. Then on the other aspect, professional, because we are talking about the 4 P's. We have talked about the punctuality, being on time, being prepared, getting yourself ready. Then professional, you have to dress in a professional way, because you are meeting these people for the first time. Because that's the way you dress is the way people will address you. You won't be going for online academic interview and you're just looking unkempt. You have to be in your best dress, even if it involves you being on suit, be on suit. Just look good so that they will know that you are ready for them, because they will be observing all those important things. Another area you need to also look into is the background when you are having that interview. One of my colleagues in school, I think, lost an admission because during the day he was having the interview, I think he was in the village. So the goats and fowl were disturbing. So they were asking the guy, where are you that they are being distracted? So it wasn't so funny. At least you need to look for a library, or if your house is not a quiet place, you can go to a friend place and stay. Look for a very quiet, calm environment where you will not be distracted, so and have your interview. Also, be prepared ahead of time. If it's an online interview, you have to sit ahead of time. Just test some Zoom tools, the mic, the screen, and everything to make sure they are working perfectly well. Then if it is something that has to be the physical, that is on site, you don't have to come with your jotter, pen and paper, then you sit and wait for them when the interview time calls, you answer. Then the last one is positive. Convey a positive attitude. Always speak, with confidence. So when there is a question, don't sound like maybe you are not prepared for the interview. Even if you don't know what you are saying, just be saying something. But make sure that what you are saying is making sense. So you shouldn't be saying out of sense. At least tell them that you have a little knowledge of that particular course, or even if you don't have any knowledge, but related information you have had or you have read online, these are the things. Also, exercise breathing or mindfulness. When you talk like you're having a conversation with someone. You shouldn't be rushing, because when you rush, that means it seems you cramped your response. When you talk, you relax, you take it gradually, one by one, so that they will understand that you are very, very relaxed and comfortable with them. Then the other one, stay confident and give your best. Like I've said, stay confident and give your best. Always be at your best. When I mean your best, just always wear a smile. Don't find your face. So when you talk, just feel free, because eventually, if you succeeded, you will still meet the same people when you get to that school. So first impression matters on how you express yourself, on how you exercise yourself. You show them that you are the right candidate. And one other interesting thing is, once they have already sent you an interview link, just know that your admission approval is ready. But if you didn't do well, maybe during the interview, you didn't actually showcase all those qualities they have seen in your CV, you lose that admission. That's the truth. I have been in several admissions. Yes, I have. And I think what my own case was like, my school, they say they don't have the funds to send to the school for tuition fee whatsoever. So that was what happened. But the glory of God, I have gotten a better opportunity, and things are moving on gradually from what I've seen. So everything has to do with when you keep on pushing and you shouldn't relent. So, and I want to also state something here. You can change your career. You can change your course. My first undergraduate was science. Yeah, I read engineering, but currently where I'm putting my energy currently right now is no longer in science. That's the truth. So you can navigate. Where I learned this thing from is from one of my friends, the young guy I showed you, Julian from UN. He said something that if you are pursuing something, you shouldn't just be stagnant somewhere. You can just follow different paths. When you move this direction, you move this direction until you arrive your destination. You know, he shared a wonderful story about how he started working with the UN system. So he was just into tourism, and he was just telling people an interesting story about, I think, his country. And one, he got um, engaged, interacting with one United Nations representative. That was how the man had to tell him to do a particular course in tourism management and stuff like that. And the young man, applied for United Nations job and he got it. So you can switch career, and that doesn't mean that you have to just focus on a particular career. It's good if you have that passion to climb that ladder from your undergraduate, master's to PhD level, fine. But if you feel that there are these courses you want to switch over to, maybe people who have the interest to Japan, you can also tilt in that direction. But mind you that once you are doing that particular course, or you have interest in that research, you really need to make a proper research about that particular course, and not just, hey, I want to do nursing, or anything that has to do with nursing should come. No, you have to know in nursing which area you want to major in. It's very, very important. Then after the interview, just relax and be patient, because recruitment process normally takes time. So it's not a day something. It takes a whole lot of time. Then also remember to checkmate your application. Once you are done building your CV, you are done building your motivation letter or statement of purpose, you need to checkmate them again. Go through them, especially your CV. Checkmate or checklist these things, keywords, that particular school or research, of course, you are reading or you want to apply, or want to study hard. Also, make sure that your CV is up to academic CV standard. Also add your strengths. Your soft and hard skill is very, very important because these are something that define you. For example, if you are in science and you don't know anything that has to do with computer, you won't get admission because over there, most of the things they do has to do with computer. If you're in the lab, you need to know how to interpret results, especially that are generated from a lab. So you must have to be a computer literate. You have to know that. In fact, all the courses now must have to have the background of computer. Then the other one has to talk about motivation letter. You have to checkmate your motivation letter. Make sure you adopt a format that has this writing language, like I have shown you, introduction, having the background, research, goals, conclusion, and all that. So you won't mix up something. Then other thing you also need to do is to make sure that your motivation letter doesn't exceed 2 pages so that it won't be like you are writing off key. Just make sure there are 2 pages. Rather, you minimize the font so that it will contain the information. But if you increase the font, automatically it will be in 3 pages. Ensure you review your letter before sending. Check spellings. It's very, very important. The recipient's names, check their name very important. Have that experience. Like I said, I sent a letter to another person. So it wasn't funny, but these are experiences you might encounter. So make sure you read your letter, check the spellings very, very, very well so that you won't make any mistake. So another thing is in your interview, remember the 4 P's, very, very important. Exercise, make sure you introduce yourself properly, prepare your question. Your question can come from any direction. Maybe do they have a scholarship? Do they have this or that? Do they do this program? Even if you know they are doing it, just ask the question so that it will look like you are part of what the conversation they are having. You are part of the conversation. Sorry, then the next one is having a good or bad CV. I have shown you. Looking at the screen, you see the one marked on red. I've received this type of CV countless times from some people. They will tell me I should help them go through their CV or review. Anyone that has color, I'll just tell the person that this doesn't look good. It doesn't look mature and it doesn't look professional. So I will send a sample for them to redo. When you see those ones marked good, you see how mature and classic. This is how professional CV looks like. The person doesn't need to go through spending 1 hour, 2 hours. Looking at the whole information, everything I've already explained itself.